was Bismarck's second shopping center and North Dakota's second fully enclosed shopping center. It's seen reinvention multiple times, transforming into a mixed-use facility, housing retail, restaurants, services, and even offices. Northbrook Mall, today known as Northbrook Professional Center, on History Talk, where we explore the people, places, and events that shaped our community. History Talk streams exclusively Thursdays at 10 a.m. on KFYR+. Northbrook Mall was announced on July 14, 1962. It would become Bismarck's second shopping center after Arrowhead Plaza opened in 1953, and North Dakota's second fully enclosed shopping center. The first enclosed shopping center was Minot's Arrowhead Shopping Center, developed by the same company as Northbrook and opened 1 year prior. United Development Corporation highlighted a shopping center as a prominent fixture of its Home and Acres subdivision, which United began developing in 1958. Negotiations and planning spanned nearly 2 years before Minot-based Forsberg Inc. commenced construction in mid-1962. Forsberg had just completed Minot's Arrowhead Shopping Center. Forsberg owned the shopping center itself, leasing the land from United. A member of the Cavaney family was a principal in United, namesake of bordering Cavaney Drive. The Cavaney family will later have a hand in developing Gateway Mall, which opened in 1979. Northbrook Mall spanned almost 73,000 square feet upon opening in 1963. Red Owl and Temple, corporate siblings under the Minnesota-based conglomerate Gamble-Skogamo, anchored Northbrook when it officially opened on May 1st of that year, which coincided with Red Owl's opening. Temple preceded by a couple of weeks on April 17th. At 40,000 square feet, Temple was Northbrook's largest store. Temple was Bismarck's first modern-day discount department store, opening nearly a decade before Bismarck's Kmart, and featured a drive-in automobile service garage. It was the second Temple store in North Dakota after Minot. The 12,000 square foot Red Owl store supplemented its downtown and Mandem locations, easily establishing itself as the region's dominant grocer. It had 5 checkout lanes and a service counter. Completing the remaining 20,000 square feet was Acker's Dutch Oven, a beauty shop, a beauty college, a barber shop, and a laundromat. A liquor store and Johnson's Northbrook Bottle Store opened that October. In the grand opening announcement, the enclosed mall, still a relatively new concept, introduced the shopping experience of entering a single exterior door to, quote, leisurely, end quote, enjoy an afternoon shopping of, quote, without being bothered by cold, wind, or sudden showers. It was described as a, quote, broad, covered walkway, which extends in an L-shaped manner, connecting the various businesses housed within. Believe it or not, there was some confusion when enclosed shopping centers first came to be, where consumers thought they could shop all of the stores and pay for their merchandise all at once when ready, as if it was one big store. 2 major additions were added within the first few years of operation. The first was in 1967, adding 2 wings adjoining Temple, one to its east and another significantly smaller addition to the northwest. The second addition, in 1971, expanded upon the eastern 1967 addition. Northbrook originally planned to expand all the way to Turnpike Avenue, but that never materialized, and condos were built there instead. Temple, the mall's largest tenant, closed unexpectedly in May 1976, despite having 6 years remaining on its lease. While the entire Temple division was suffering as a whole and would be shut down only a few years later, Kmart's arrival arguably strained the local Temple store to the point of closing early. Kmart opened in 1971, only 2 miles away from Northbrook Mall. It was twice the size upon opening and would expand even greater. On top of that, Kmart had a much better location, directly off the major interchange with I-94 and Highway 83. Its former space was converted into a mini-mall to house multiple tenants. The Northbrook Mini-Mall, as it would be referred, was divvied into 35 spaces, averaging between 1,200 and 1,500 square feet each, with the largest space being that of Hardware Hank at 6,500 square feet. The heart of the mini-mall was an octagonal layout. The new mini mall concept debuted in October 1977, with a grand opening in March 1978. In addition to Hardware Hank, new tenants occupying Northbrook Mall within the next year would include The Walk, Hanson's Menswear, The Cheddar Box, The Kitchen Cupboard, Feist TV and Electronics, and the Earth Pantry. Some of those would later relocate to Gateway Mall. A full-service post office and a driver's license center were also established at this time.
The new shops are located in what used to be the old Tempo store in the Northbrook Shopping Center. Anyone who hasn't visited the area since Tempo closed will be surprised by the ambitious project, which includes 55 new stores, 45 of which are already open. What are your shop owners saying? Are they happy with the business they're doing so far?
Yes, they're real happy with the flow of traffic, and they're even looking for January and February to be better than right now.
In 1979, a partnership headed by Dan Schmaltz acquired Northbrook Mall from United Development Corporation. Soon after, mall management announced expansion plans that, when completed in 1981, would have added a movie theater, variety store, and recreation center to the north. Despite obtaining necessary financing, these never materialized. While not technically foreclosed, First Bank of Bismarck acquired the shopping center in lieu of outstanding debt in 1983. Northbrook's occupancy rate had dwindled to 58% by the time Midwest Management, now Goldmark, assumed management of the mall in late 1986. The rise in vacancies was attributed to business closures as a result of inflation and higher interest rates, and to increased competition from other shopping centers, particularly nearby Gateway Mall. A $500,000 renovation project commenced soon after. By July 1987, occupancy had risen to 90%. Northbrook had been rejuvenated for the moment. In 1986, Red Owl's corporate office asserted control of the failing Bismarck franchises, then operating as Rod's Family Foods. Shortly after, in 1987, both Bismarck stores underwent renovation and reopened under the company's new Fresh Mart Foods pilot store concept. The newly renovated 15,000 square foot grocer added a bakery, deli, and smokehouse for custom-made sausages. It also expanded its meat and produce departments. These efforts proved unsuccessful, however, and both Bismarck Red Owl locations permanently closed in March 1989. This resulted in Northbrook's largest tenant and sole anchor unoccupied. Much like its Tempo counterpart previously, the space was split to house multiple tenants. On the same month of Red Owl's departure, Northbrook's second largest tenant, Jerry's Trustworthy Hardware, also shuttered. The store was originally the Hardware Hank, purchased by Jerry Cook, former manager of Arrowhead's Shields, in 1978. A replacement, Keller's Trustworthy Hardware, replaced the store soon after. Keller's closed by 1990. Throughout the 1990s and into the 2000s, Northbrook again struggled with high vacancies. Today, Northbrook mostly houses professional services, along with a small handful of retail and restaurants. Its change in tenant structure has led to its new identity of Northbrook Professional Center. I invite you to check out my 2 Bismarck history books. They are available to purchase on Amazon and select local bookstores. Copies are also available at the Bismarck Public Library. Visit bismarckbook.com for more information. That was our look at Northbrook Mall. Next, we'll continue our look at local retail history with a look at 1970s retail, including Kmart, LaBelle's, and several failed shopping center proposals. Looking ahead, we'll continue the retail history discussion with Kirkwood and Gateway Malls.